Mean Girls comes out tomorrow. I saw it last night, and here are a few of my thoughts. Spoiler alerts ahead. First things first, put some respect on this movie. When they said, oh, I don't know, I think it's just a line from an old movie. I am 30. I'll be 31 in a few days, but I'm 30. I am not old. I am. But the way it was just like, oh, we're gonna make sure y'all know how long it has been since the first Mean Girls came out and when Juno came out. I love that they reference this movie. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go see it. Okay, so my love, Nay Rap. You just couldn't root against Regina George in this film. You literally were just more in awe of her and everything that she did and sang. Then there was Avantika. Let me tell you, everything she did was comedy gold. Everyone literally loved all the things that she was doing. Like, you have to watch for her in the background because it's just amazing. The entire audience that we were with were laughing. Ali Carvalho, my friends and I have always loved Mean Girls. And this particular group of friends are all white. But with this Mean Girls, I am now able to just be like, Pacific Islanders are there too. And it's like actual representation. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so good. And I'm so excited for the younger generation of Pacific Islanders, even our current generation or my generation of Pacific Islanders, to see Ali kill it and I just wanted more. I loved seeing her perform and sing and everything. Amazing. Jaquel. Oh, comedy. Still, great comedy bits. I loved everything that he did. There were so many great Easter eggs in this film. And my favorite, spoiler alert, is when they're singing Sexy and they go through all the different costumes. And you know that one part in the OG film where Regina George's shirt is cut out? They referenced that in the film. I was like, yes! So there are so many wonderful Easter eggs. I really feel like I need to watch it again just to scan, you know? The inclusion of influencers. It was great. It worked so well. And there was an audible gasp when Chris Olsen showed up on the screen. The entire audience was like, and then the cameo, y'all. The cameo where literally everyone in my theater was clapping. If you don't want to know who it is, stop watching this video. Lindsay Lohan makes an appearance in the film and it is so amazing. I'm not going to tell you when it happens, but she does. Everyone in the audience was clapping. I love that this was a fresh take. I absolutely loved everything that was about this film. It felt fresh. It felt new. I enjoyed it for how it presented itself. So the cons. I wouldn't say cons, but more critiques of mine. There were just some removals of full songs. You got partial songs from the musical. And I don't know if they were given a time limit. But to me, I'm if some films get 3 hours, give me the full thing. I want the full shebang. I want Mean Girls the musical. I want Damien's song. I was listening to the soundtrack last night on my way home and I was just all these great songs that they removed. And so that brings me to my second con, which was them not really committing to it being a musical. It's they've felt this trend that people don't like musicals, but for those of us that do, we want the full, we want it all. Give us the full musical. Don't give us a half musical. That's kind of what it felt like. It was a half musical. And they even revamped some of the songs. And I was like, no, I liked how you guys did it on Broadway. And I was so looking forward to seeing that on the screen. Not it being on the stage, but give me a Les Mis, a Les Miserables, that we got back a few years ago. I kind of felt like this could have been the film that brought true musicals back to theater, which meant that even because there were partial songs, we lost some great comedy bits, especially from Gretchen, you know, where she goes, you know, in one of the songs, or when there's confusion about, you know, Regina doing it with Shea Omen while he's in the costume, and she goes, no, they're both in the costume. To me, those two parts for Gretchen are, I don't know, I just find them hilarious, and I was waiting for them to happen because they're great. But it didn't, and that's fine. The movie was still fine. These are just me being I wish this would have happened. Then there were just a few small things that I was it would have helped connected the OG film to this film. You know, when they make their four-way calls or they call, and I get that kids nowadays probably don't call each other. There were things that friends do that it just kind of felt disconnected for the friend group that they didn't do. I feel they could have even just had a text screen up and Regina asking everyone to hang out and Karen going, I'm sick. And she goes, boo, you. And I don't know if it's PC to call someone a whore, but like it's such a Mean Girls line where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's not PC and that's probably why they excluded it. And so that's another thing. Like I feel like there are so many things from the old film that validly are removed, right? I don't even know if validly is a word, but like understandably they are removed from this. It's just elements, like little small things where it's just like, there's just something missing, but it was still good. You know what I'm saying? Overall, I love the film. I'm definitely going to be watching this over and over again. Definitely encourage you to go see it. It was so fetch and super cruel.